Hey, what's up guys, it's Apex HD here, back with another video, but something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be commentating over some footage that I recorded of me going around Nordschleife with somebody on my rear end pretty much the whole time, but I managed to get some runs out of some corners and get some distance between me and him. But for overall, he was definitely a very capable driver of keeping up with me, and we both had a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and start this, and let's see how this commentary goes. Cross fingers. Okay, so coming up here, getting ready to go out onto the main track. If you didn't know, you basically start out in a parking lot, and then you head out towards through the toll booth and onto the actual main straightaway where people are flying about 160 something. That's if you're running a different version of the track. Right now we're running the tourist version, so it's going to be a little bit more protected from people doing that. So as you can tell, we are heading down the big straightaway, coming up to one of the sweeping left corners up here. And then also I call it the sweeping S through here. So you really want to try and get on the brakes as soon as you can. Don't be afraid to get on the brakes early. If you get on the brakes early, the worst thing will happen is, you'll just you'll put a reminder in your head to just not brake as early as you did before. If someone's behind you, then, just make them pass you and then brake when they pass. So coming up through this area, there is a lot of tricky sections through here. The car likes to get very unsettled through here, and this is where I'm going to talk about vehicle dynamics. So vehicle dynamics is basically how the car reacts when you hit the gas or when you hit the brake. When you hit the gas, the front end raises up. When you hit the brake, the front end sinks down to the ground. And that can really help you when it comes to getting the car at high speeds through these corners, because you can basically sink the nose down, which by dragging the brake a little bit, you can sink the nose down and actually grab onto the corner by using both the gas and the brake at the same time. So I really highly recommend you go check out a video on vehicle dynamics, and it will definitely explain to you further how to, do those types of things and help you in the game and in racing overall. So back to my commentary of this video. We are coming up to a actually we're on the very high speed section. This is a very steep hill, so you want to get on the brakes as soon as you get over that hill. And oh man, I really take it fast through there. You're basically dangling on the edge of life through there. If you're too aggressive, you're gonna end up in the guardrail, and if you're too light, you're going to I don't know, maybe overcorrect, or sorry, not overcorrect, but maybe have too sharp of a pitch into the corner. Oh, right here I get pretty sideways, and yeah, managed to almost lose in that corner, but I managed to save it. So and it turns out he lost it through there. So I did slow down for him, because it's not all about being the fastest and everything. You want to have a good time, so you want somebody right there behind you. Let's go ahead and switch to the in view cockpit cam. Okay, so right up here, this is a very tricky part. Get on the brakes nice and early, just enough to roll through the corner, and then bring the gears down through here. Because this part, and then brake and turn in at the yellow graffiti. If you don't do that, most likely you're going to end up in the dirt. Some people like to, try and chance it, but I use what I basically learned for a very long time now, which is turn in as soon as you see the graffiti. So, which is yellow, by the way. So coming up to this part, very tricky part. You want to keep the car nice pitched in. If you use too shallow of a pitch, you're most likely going to understeer. So try and throw that car in there as best as you can, at the same time keeping control, but to the best of your ability. If you don't really know what to do, just take it slow. It's not a bad thing. We all had to learn this track, so you're not going to look funny if you slow down a lot for the corner. Okay, so coming through here, this is miss hit miss. You want to be very careful through here, because this is also a very crucial corner when it comes to Nordschleife. Actually, most of these corners on Nordschleife is very crucial, and if you mess up, as you can see, there's not much runoff on either side of the track, so you're most likely going to end up into a guardrail. So coming up to the bridge here, you want to get nice and early on the brakes and then kind of roll it through at the same time balancing the gas. If you can. If you can't balance the gas, then just roll it through. Got a little sideways there. This car is a very fantastic car. It's very stable under a lot of the maneuvers that I take it through. And I'm a very aggressive driver when it comes to racing, but at the same time, I do know what I'm doing, and I do know how to counter steer myself out of bad situations. So yeah. Okay, so this is the fast section of the Nordschleife. All I can really say is keep your foot hard on the gas and keep a nice consistent steering input, and you'll be fine. I do lift every once in a while in some cars, not in this car particularly, because it's very, very stable under those types of cornering G's. So okay, so nice and let off, dab the brakes, and then turn it nice and just not too sharp, because if you have a too sharp of an input, you're going to upset the car. And that's one thing that you also need to learn when you're doing a track like this, is too sharp turns, or shall I say too aggressive inputs, and you're going to get an aggressive reaction. So you just really want to I guess dial in how much you're turning that steering wheel in some of these corners. Okay, coming up to the carousel, I'm waiting for the guy behind me because I believe he messed up on that corner. Let's go ahead and go back out cam, which I believe is F3, yep. Carousel, if you're new to it, just go ahead and take the outside of the carousel. You're not going to look too funny if you do it. No one really cares. We're just all here to have a good time, so that's what I highly recommend you do for the carousel. Now, coming up to, I call it the roller coaster section of the track, because this is where there is massive amounts of altitude changes and banking corners and all sorts of stuff. So what I can really recommend you do here is balance the brake and the gas as best as you can. And really, if your brain tells you to brake harder, do it, because if you don't, this can be the end of your race. So you want to be fast, so don't, if you seem like you can take more speed through the corner, just next time you come around on the track, just go ahead and take that corner a little bit faster. Okay, so I believe, yep, we're coming up to a corner. Okay, this corner is right before YouTube corner, so you'll see right here. I'm gonna go left onto the apex, a little bit on the apex, and then nice and easy turn in. I like to get it sideways through here because it's YouTube corner. Why the hell not? But this car is, like I said, very stable, so it was actually kind of difficult to get it sideways. Well, sideways enough that I, want to. Okay, so through here, there's going to be a lot of different types of altitude changes, like I said, especially right here. This is where the hill is. Yep, little hill. You want to brake, dab the brake. Oh, well, I did mess up there. You can't get it perfect every time, but as long as you learn that and you know that, and that's cycling in your head, and you remember it, you'll be fine. Okay, so through here, this is a very tricky section coming up to this right-hander up here. Actually, let's go ahead and go in cam. As you can see, it looks like you can take a good amount of speed through there, but actually it's a lot sharper than you think. So really, if your mind tells you to get on those brakes, get on those brakes, because if you don't get on those brakes, you're going to end up into the guardrail, which, that's not fun for everyone. Then you gotta go run the whole 12 miles again, which obviously isn't fun. So okay, and then this is the last corner before the straightaway, I believe. Not much to say, really. Just, like I said, balance the brake and the gas. I can't stress that enough for people. Just, if you want to learn how to turn at high speeds and flick I call it the Scandinavian flick, because, I learned that on Top Gear. If you want to learn how to do those things, learn vehicle dynamics and drive cars out of your comfort zone, because it will really teach you how to deal with some of these cars. And this car feels like it's super easy to drive after you drive like something like the rough Yellowbird or the Shelby Cobra. So yeah, and I believe that is the end of our run here, guys. I had a fantastic time, commenting. I know I'm not the greatest at it. I will try and get better at it. I get tongue twisted every once in a while, and my thoughts start to get scrambled and stuff. But Overall, I thought it was a pretty, decent experience for my first time. And just, yeah, go ahead and leave a comment below if you think that I should work on some things, because I definitely know I do have some things to work on when it comes to commenting over, a video or something. But yeah, anyways, guys, I had a fun time doing this. And whoever that driver was or whatever, if you're watching this, man, fantastic job driving, and I hope, we can meet again. Anyways, yeah, guys, this is Apex HD, and I'm gonna go ahead and take off. See ya.